to our virtual boosting balance and bone health warm-up video. My name is Alexa.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are occupational therapists. The exercises in this video are inspired by the Bone Fit program created by Osteoporosis Canada. So, in order to start, we want you guys to have a nice chair that's sturdy, probably with handles that you can sit on. We're going to go a little bit to the edge of your chair, and we're going to start with some heel taps. All right, so lift those heels up off the floor and tap them back down. Then we're going to switch to toe taps, so get those toes off the floor and tap them down. Now lift those knees. All right, now roll those ankles. One way, other way. Make sure it's off the floor. Switch your feet. Other way. All right, now kick your feet forward, nice and high. If you have to hold on to the chair, don't be afraid to do so. We'll get those legs moving. All right, roll those wrists. Other way. Roll your arms. Make sure you don't hit anybody beside you. Forwards.
Takes a little more coordination.
And backwards. Nice full circles.
Using lots of your shoulder joint.
Okay, now roll your shoulders by themselves. Go backwards. And then forwards. All right, now that we're all loosened up, make sure you're holding on to a surface. Stand up from your chair, and then we're going to go behind the chair. So whenever you're standing and exercising, make sure you have a surface that you can hang on to for support. You can use both of your hands, or you can use just a few fingers depending on how much stability that you need. So we're going to stand beside our chair, and we're going to do some butt kicks. So this is where you lift your foot off the ground as if you're going to kick your butt.
Try and get that heel as close to your bum as you can.
Now we're going to lift those knees. Same thing, hang on to the chair if you need to. Lift those knees nice and high. So on the spot, marching.
If you can, if you don't need your hands, you can tap your knees. Opposite hand, opposite knee. Like that. But again, if you need support, do hold on, even if it's just with one hand.
Okay, go back to that chair. Hang on. We're going to do opposite arm and leg. So you're going to take your right arm and lift it up, and your left leg and lift it up. And then bring them back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Switch sides. Take that left arm, move it up. Right leg, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Next we're going to do some heel raises. So same thing when we were sitting down in the chair, but we're going to do it standing up. So you're going to lift your heels off the floor and come back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Good work, everybody. So now that we're all warmed up, you can follow our other videos for some stretching and exercises that are osteoporosis friendly. See you later.
Bye.
So now we're going to go into our advanced balance routine. So these are some different exercises that are a little bit more advanced, so they're more difficult than the ones that were in our beginner section. So as always, make sure that you are up to trying them out, you have support available, and we'll just go through them. So the first one we're going to do is going back to our basics, so our base of support. So remember that from the beginner section of this video, it's how much area we're covering with our feet over the ground. So the advanced version of this is doing it with our eyes closed. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a small base of support, so our feet are nice and close together, and Rachel will show you the modified version where you're hanging on.
Yeah, either one hand or two.
Yeah, so we're just going to close our eyes and hold this for about 10 seconds. So remember, it's okay if your arms kind of sway back and forth. Just get a sense of where your balance is and try and center yourself. So if you need your arms in front of you, at your side, and balance.
And
okay.
If you find that you become dizzy at all, make sure open your eyes slowly, sit down if you need to. Sometimes people can find closing their eyes for a period of time can bring on dizziness.
And just as a note of that, so if you want to make the beginner section a little bit more harder, you can just simply close your eyes and see how that changes. So we were doing things like base of support, there was tandem stance with our foot in front, there was with our leg up. Try all of those exercises, but with your eyes closed, even if you can do it for 1 or 2 seconds, and you'll notice how your balance shifts. All right, so now we're going to get into some of our wonderful decorations over here. So we'll be going to our next section. Okay, so you might have to get creative at home for our next section of the balance exercise. We do recommend that you do this with a wall, just in case you need some support. So what we have here are some pylons. And remember when we were doing our leg lifting up, we're going to do that, but in motion this time. So I'm going to start over here. And what we're going to do is you're just going to lift your leg up, knees high, and step over the object. If you need to have your hand here, bring it up. And back down.
And a modified version, if you need to, is holding on to the wall with one hand as you do your stepping over whatever objects you have at home. Okay?
So we can do this forward and we can do it back. Same thing. Lifting your knee up and back down. Nice and slow. Make sure you don't hit those objects. And you're in control of your movement the whole time.
And again, holding on as you need to and taking a break at whatever point.
Okay, so next we're going to do a similar thing, but we're going to do it against the wall. So I'm going to move these pylons. And what we're going to do is our tandem stance. So remember in the beginner section of the video, this was where we had our feet in front, so our foot in front of the other, but we're going to do this in walking. Okay, so again, try and find some kind of wall that you can hang on to as you're doing this, and you're just going to pick a line, and you're going to walk the line, essentially. So you walk forward, heel to toe, make sure they're touching as you go. If you need to hold on to the wall, do so. And do it nice and slow at your own pace going forward.
And if you find it easier as well, you could always put a piece of tape as well if you don't have a floor with a line. Just if you find that visual helps you to stay on track.
And then for my more advanced folks, you can give this a try to go backwards. So same thing, make sure your wall is nice there. And you're going heel to toe in a backwards motion. So following that line all the way back, nice and controlled.
And again, if you need to, you're holding on to the wall for support, okay?
All right, the next exercise you can try at home is called a figure 8. So that's where we draw a figure 8 on the ground with our feet, and we do it in the same stance. So this tandem stance where we're heel to toe, and we're just gonna walk in circles this time. So you can draw a figure 8 on the floor with some tape, or you can kind of just imagine it.
And you can do a bit of an easier version. If the tandem is a bit too hard because you don't have a support for this one, then notice I'm just doing a regular stance and walking that figure 8. It's still good because you're having to change directions, which can definitely challenge our balance. And you could always try tandem for part of it, and if you found that was getting a bit too hard, then go back to your regular walking stance, okay?
Try and do this for about one song. So we might be a bit shorter, but put one of your favorite songs on the radio and do some of these movements. All right, might even help you get that rhythm going.
And the other thing you can try as well, if you find heel to toe is a little bit more difficult, you can do where you're taking a bit of a wider step, but still kind of going heel to toe, but you're not going right against each other. Okay, so there's against, and then where you're just kind of stepping still in front, but you're not doing it as close proximity.
Okay, so again, there's always a more advanced version, and same with the tandem stance. You can try to do this backwards if you feel that you need a bit more of a challenge and you're up for it, okay? So please make sure that you're checking in with yourself that you are able to do this, but it would be the same thing. You can either step backwards and create that space, or you can do heel to toe backwards, but in that figure 8 movement. So you're trying to get that curve going. You're making a figure 8 in that tandem stance, but doing it backwards.
Now, if you found it difficult forwards, I would not recommend that you try it backwards. Wait until you've kind of mastered that and you find you need a new challenge, as Alexa was mentioning. Just for safety, we want to make sure that you're challenged, but also that safety is a priority as well.
Okay, so once you've gone through that and you found a new favorite song, we're going to go back to the wall. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk on our tiptoes. So instead of walking tandem stance, we can also walk on our toes. So we can walk this way. So making sure our heels are nice up off the ground, holding on if we need to.
And again, holding on if you need to, right? If it's a little bit harder, still better to hold on and do something than to not.
So you can create that line, so your toes are one in front in the line, or you can have them out to the side, depending on how you want to challenge your balance. And then same thing, you can try this going backwards. Make sure you have that wall for support if you need it. But again, we can always do a challenge, but we want to make sure that we're able to do that challenge before we jump right into it, okay? So the next one we're going to do, this is called side stepping. So some of you might know it from some dancing techniques. But basically it's just learning to cross over. So what you do is you you start with your feet straight, and you're going to take your one foot and put it across the other, all right? So you're going to take your right foot, put it over, left foot out, then you're going to take your right foot, put it under, and then pull it back out, okay? So we'll show you a few of these. So it's 1 foot over, 1 foot under. And if you need the wall behind you or in front of you while you do it,
just hold on and make sure you're a little closer to the wall, but also you want to just make sure that when you're bringing that foot under and back, that you're not going to be smacking into the wall, tripping yourself either.
Yep, so you take your left foot over, under, over, under. That's all it is, just back and forth across the hall. So we're going to show you a different version of side stepping as well, and this is just going to the side and back. So you're going to take your left foot, bring it out, and bring your right foot back beside it. So instead of crossing over, we can just go side to side. Same idea.
And again, holding on to that wall if you need to, so keeping it right behind you with one hand or two, depending on what you need.
You can try it with your eyes closed if you need more of a challenge. You can also try lifting your foot up and putting it back down. So nice and high and back down. Wide steps, getting that movement going and the balance at the same time. Okay, and for our last one here, we're going to show you another version on the wall, but this is going to be with our heels. So this one is quite advanced. This is where we take our toes off the ground and we walk in a straight line or a little bit to the side with just our heels. So those toes are off the ground.
And again, you're having the wall right by you if you need to, so that you can have that for support and make sure that you're not going to fall.
So try it a few times before you get the hang of it. This one's a little bit more awkward than walking on your toes.
Good for your shin muscles as well. You'll notice they'll feel a little bit sore after that, but it is good for them.
Yeah, and same thing, you can try it backwards if you want to. So the same idea, walking in a line, toe off the floor. This one's really difficult though, so please only try it if you really need the challenge.
And hold on if you need to again.
So that is the end of our balance video. We hope you enjoyed. So again, all of these exercises are promoted by the Bone Fit program that Osteoporosis Canada has put out. And if you have any questions, you can always send them back to us in the video. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Hello, welcome to our Boosting Balance Cool Down. I'm Rachel.
I'm Alexa.
And we're occupational therapists. And these exercises, or stretches rather, that we're going to lead you through, these are ones that you want to do after you've done some exercises. So we don't like to do, we call it static stretching, so where you're holding a stretch. We don't like to do that until we've had a chance to warm up our muscles properly. So you want to do this after you've done the exercises, okay? So we're going to start out in standing, and we're going to start out with an upper back stretch. So you're going to bring your arms in front. If you can, link them together, those hands. And you're just going to push forward as far as you're able to, feeling hopefully a nice stretch in your upper back in this area here, okay? And these stretches we want to try and hold for about 15 to 20 seconds, okay? If the linking is hard, you can just have your arms out like that as well. Not everyone's able to link them, okay? And you should feel this again, upper back and kind of shoulder area, okay? And bring those down. Then what we're going to do, I like to stretch out our chest, so you're going to bring those hands behind, okay? And it's kind of the same thing, but the opposite way. So you're stretching out with this one, your chest, okay? And again, if you can't link, just bring them back as far as you're able to. And you should feel, again, a nice stretch in that chest area when you're doing this one. And again, holding for 15 to 20 seconds as long as you're able, okay? The next one that we can do, we're gonna do one to stretch out our calf muscle, okay? So with this one, you get your chair, you bring one foot in front, and the back leg, you're trying to line it up with that front leg, and you want to keep that back leg straight and lean forward and bend that front knee. So you should feel a nice stretch in your back calf, this area right here. Okay, you can use, doesn't have to be a chair, it can be a wall, anything that kind of gives you a little bit of support. And again, we're going to be holding that for 15 to 20 seconds. And then what we're going to do is switch. So you're going to bring the opposite leg back, the other one in front, and again, bending that forward knee and keeping that back leg straight as best you can. So trying to keep that back heel on the ground if you're able. You'll get a deeper stretch that way. And again, we're holding all of these for 15 to 20 seconds to get the maximum benefit. All right, so then we're gonna sit. So we're gonna bring our chair and we'll sit down. And we're gonna finish off our leg stretches. So with this one, you can bring your bum a little more to the edge of the chair. Bring your leg out front. And what you're gonna do, making sure that you're bending at your hip area, not at your waist, you're gonna bend down to try and reach that toe as best you can. Okay, you just go to the point of tension. Don't worry about trying to touch your toe. As you can see, I can't. But you're just trying to feel that tension in the leg. So you should feel it, you'll feel a bit in your calf, but then you'll also feel it up through your hamstring back here, okay? And if you want a deeper stretch, you can try pointing that toe upwards as well, okay? And again, we're holding these 15 to 20 seconds. And we'll switch legs. So other leg out, straightening it, bending again from the hip, trying not to bend right from the waist, and you're just going to that point of tension again, okay? And straight and bringing that toe towards you if you can to deepen the stretch a little bit. Very good. So the other one that you can do, and there's a couple ways you can do this one, more for your buttocks muscle, you can bring your leg up. So you've got your foot on the opposite knee, and then push that knee down And you should feel a stretch in this area. If you're not able to bring the leg up, I know sometimes that can be difficult, you can keep it down like this and push out on the knee, or bring it up even just a little bit and get the same kind of stretch, okay? So you can always, there's always a way to do it, you just might have to modify it a little bit. And the same thing, we're holding it 15 to 20 seconds. And we'll try the opposite one. So again, bringing it up if you can, and pushing down on that knee, or like Alexa's doing, the modified version. If you're not able to get it up there, there's still a way to get that stretch in. Again, we're holding all of these 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, and bringing that down. So the last couple are for our arms and shoulders. So bring one arm in front, and the opposite arm is going to come under and grab that shoulder. Okay? And you're just going to hold that, again, 15 to 20 seconds. And just do what you're able to do. If you do have any shoulder injuries or things like that and something hurts, you don't have to do it. You're just doing what feels comfortable again, okay? A light stretch is okay, but we don't want any kind of shooting pains. And then we'll switch, okay? So other arm in front, opposite arm under, and grab that shoulder. Very good. And the last one that we're going to do, so you're going to bring one arm up if you're able to, the other arm up over your head, and grab that elbow and pull it a little bit to the opposite side. So you should feel a nice little stretch in that area of the arm.
So if you can't reach your arm to grab the elbow, just take and push at the bottom, right at your shoulder, and push it forward. So you're just going to push into that shoulder, and then you'll get the same type of stretch without having to reach your elbow.
There's always different ways that we can do most of these exercises and stretches. And then we'll just switch arms. So this one comes up, grab the opposite elbow, and again bring it towards you just until you feel that stretch right in that area. Okay, sometimes I like to just do a little shake as well to kind of shake everything out. Those are the cool down stretches that we have. We hope that you've enjoyed these videos and that you'll join us again.
Bye-bye.